Hello everyone. If you're watching this, you missed day 2 of our week 3 computer science principles lecture. Let's get started. As you can see, I'm really bundled up. I had my COVID vaccine and I have a little fever from it, but hey, it's getting COVID, right? So let's get going here. So we are in the midst of working on our hackathon project. You should hopefully already have started. If you are not sure what to do on it, please watch the previous video as that outlines the basics. I will finish talking about the rest of the expectations for the project today, the second part, and also remind you, please don't forget, assignment 51201, Traversals Make, is past due. It was due last Wednesday. If you haven't turned it in yet, you have until March 4th. That's the deadline, after which point I will not take it. Since it's on code.org, please make sure you message me via email, preferably, once you have it completed. That way I know to go and check it. If you don't do that, I will never check it, and you'll never get any points. So please make sure to do that. Hackathon project is due next Wednesday, the 24th. So let's get to it. We do have a short warm-up. Let's go over it. So this is an AP style question. It's taken directly from a previous year's AP exam. Let's see what we've got. So a programmer for an online store is developing a program to calculate discount pricing on bulk orders. The program used to implement the following pricing table shown on the right. So the more you buy, the more your discount is. The first thing you need to do with these problems is always understand the context. AP people are really big on context. If you understand the context of the program, it's a lot easier to do well. It's a little bit unfortunate if you're not an English speaker or a native English speaker. It's a little harder for you. So I recommend you practice these word types questions because they will show up on the AP exam. So now, what do we have going on? We would like to replace the question mark in all of the if statements, which we have here, with some kind of condition. Now, what is the appropriate operator to put there? If you don't remember what condition operators look like, these are your greater than or less than symbols. You need to know that. So the one that makes sense here happens to be greater than or equal to. You need to make sure you have equal to in there because meeting the minimum quantity gets you the discount. So as long as you have at least 150, you're good to go. So if that makes sense to you, then you're on the right track and you're doing well. If you're a little confused about this question, please send me an email and I'd be happy to go over it with you. All right, let's talk about the hackathon project. Remember, it is posted under modules, hackathon project, right here under week 3. We talked about the top section of this already, so I'm not going to waste your time. Go watch the previous video if you need this section. I would like to talk about what you're actually submitting down here. This is page 7. This is the only part of this handout that I'm going to be grading. First of all, you need to link to your project. So you need to hit share and copy the link and put it here. If you don't do this, I cannot grade your code and you're going to get a very low grade. The second thing you need to do is you need to answer these 2 questions. These are very similar to what you'll face on the AP exam project, and also the grading for them is also similar. There's 14 points for the code itself and 6 points for the questions. For the first one, you need to give me the purpose of the program. Remember, this is different from function. Purpose is what your program is trying to achieve. Function is how it achieves it. Do not tell me how your program does stuff here, just what it's trying to do. Very easy, just a couple sentences will do. Question 2 is a little more involved. You do need to take some screenshots. I will be posting a short guide on how to do this on various platforms, and it should be posted up later today. You can follow that guide, or if you already know how to take a screenshot, that's great. You need to give me a small portion of your code. Do not paste your whole code here because that will give you 0 points. And the same thing on the AP project. They want to make sure you know what part of your code does what. If they ask you to, let's say, supply a segment that shows how data is being stored in a list, and you give them your whole program, you're getting nothing. So be careful. Don't give them too much. So this is usually just 1 line of code for this project, just where you're getting the columns from the data set and setting them equal to your list. That'll pretty much answer this perfectly. The second part here is how are you processing the list? This is going to be your traversal. Your traversal goes here. If you don't have a traversal, you're in deep trouble because, keep in mind, you have to have a traversal as part of this, and that'll satisfy all of these various things you gotta have. At least one list is traversed, so make sure you do that. Lastly, you have to answer the following. Identify the name of the list. Very easy. My list is named blah. Identify what data is used, what are you storing in it, and explain how you manage the complexity of your program. This sounds complicated, but really all they're asking is, why do you have to have a list? What's the benefit? Why not just a bunch of random variables? What are you getting out of it? That's all you have to explain, just why lists are useful, and you'll be getting full credit here. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me via email. I'd be delighted to help you out. Otherwise, don't forget to work on this. You'll have one final class period coming up on next Tuesday, and after that, we're going to be done with this project. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next week.